Good morning, friends. Julie Galandry here with the Julie G. Holmes Group at Austin Portfolio Real Estate with your Real Estate Minute for January 2024. I cannot believe how fast the last 30 days have gone by. That's part of the reason I was a little bit tardy last month. But all the things we were talking about last month have come to pass. We have had, the market has awakened here, especially over the last week or so. I would have to just give you a little example from my own experience. Last year was just hard on everybody. The market had shifted. Really, it was starting to shift actually before we got to 2023. But thank you, Federal Reserve. They put the brakes real hard on the mortgage environment. Lots of higher and higher and higher interest rates, and it made everyone just jump back and pause. So I would say that, the second half of the year when rates went up over 8 for a minute, and they've come down since then, by the way, had just brought things to a pretty big halt. I did sell a few things at the end of the year, but I did have a few listings that just didn't sell. So we had to make decisions in the fall about what to do about that. And since my clients were not highly motivated to do anything to get it sold in the fall, we took things off the market for 90 days. And effectively what that does is it stops the clock in the MLS, the days on market clock. And so then we just came back on the market a week ago, and my listings are under contract. In fact, I had multiple offers on 2 of them. So that just goes to show you, I love human nature. And at the end of the day, we can look at all the data we want, but what really brings buyers back into the market is an elimination of fear. And because we've had all the information about interest rates and the economy is doing well, which is great. And then there's kind of another piece to that, which is kind of funny. It's not very intuitive until you really think through it. But the Fed has decided just this week not to raise rates further. They're holding steady. And, all the surveys they put out, they kind of signal what they're going to do over the course of the year. And there aren't any signals that say we're going to raise rates, we're pausing and then we're going to raise them again. It's just a matter of when they might start to bring them down a little bit. And what they're waiting for, ironically, is for negative news on the job front. Like, we don't want to, if we're not creating jobs, if unemployment rates are going up, that will be good for mortgage rates. And to connect all the dots in that, why that is because really the Fed's job is to reduce inflation. And as long as people continue to be confident and spending more and more, that does not bring down inflation. So what we need is for people to kind of put the brakes on spending outside of the mortgage arena. And then once they get those inflation rates down closer to 2%, then the Fed will say, oh, we need to stimulate the economy. And then that's when interest rates would go down again. So anyway, that's a lot of inside baseball, but that is kind of how the economy plays into what the mortgage rates are. And the mortgage rates absolutely have a huge impact on buyer activity and buyer willingness. So we have a bunch of people jumping into the market for a couple reasons. One being they're just itching to do it. People have been waiting on the sidelines maybe over a year, just waiting for something to calm down, either the pricing environment or the mortgage rate environment. And now that the mortgage rate environment has come down, they're jumping back in, and it's just human nature. When you want something, you want something. And so then it's just a matter of how much motivation do you have in a certain moment to act. So that's kind of what's happening in the market. Not surprising. We will see more homes coming on the market here over the next 6 weeks as we launch into what most people consider to be our spring selling season in Austin. And then the other thing I wanted to talk to you about today is what do you think? You're enjoying my little things about the market every month, but you don't really want to move right now. But man, you're just kind of tired of your house and how it looks, and maybe it's been a while since you've done anything with it to update it, or maybe you've never updated it, and maybe you think, I don't want to move, which a lot of people are in that position. That's why Inventory is so low because a lot of potential sellers feel that way. But you don't know really what to do to the house to enjoy it yourself, and then eventually it would be, more updated and easier to sell for a higher price. So I am starting to offer design services. It'll be a separate business. Don't even have a name for it yet, but I can help you if you are looking to do some redesign planning. I have access to designers that can help. Actually, we can put together what's called a virtual renovation. So we take some photos of your home and we get back some beautiful potential ways to redesign them. And that's anything from furnishings and accessories and colors to actual, knock down walls and renovate for real. So if you have any interest in talking to me a little bit more about what that entails, I'm wanting to do that as a very affordable thing for people. So pricing will not be what you would pay an interior designer to come to your house and go that way. That can get really expensive because they do wonderful work. And I'm not saying designers aren't worth every penny you pay them, but if you're just a little more interested in a refresh and want to do it in an economic way, just call me and we can have a meeting. So that's it for today. Hope you've enjoyed my little update. Hopefully things will be looking up even more in the next month. And if you have any questions or want to be a buyer or a seller or investor, call me at 512-568-1222. Thanks.